I'm Marcia Geltman, and I'm going to demonstrate today how to make TEIGLACH for Rosh Hashanah. TEIGLACH is a very sweet dessert. It's actually an Ashkenazi dessert. It's also called grimsel if you're from Eastern Europe, other parts of Eastern Europe. It's very easy to make. It takes about a half hour, and when you're done, this is what it looks like. It can be made with raisins or nuts or cherries, but it's a delicious dessert just to pick at. So here we go with the recipe. So we're going to start making the dough first. It calls for 3 eggs, and then you sift together 2 cups of flour. That's 1 cup. A quarter of a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of ginger. Just sift this together into the egg mixture. This is a very easy recipe. It takes about under a half hour from beginning to end. Now we mix this up till it forms a dry, stiff dough. I love this recipe because it's easy. It's appropriate for Rosh Hashanah. It's appropriate for any of the holidays that we want to celebrate something sweet. I think I need to do this with my hand a little bit. Probably takes a minute or 2 just to get the dough to the right texture. It should form a nice ball. After kneading the dough for about 2 minutes, I want to make the syrup. And what you do is you pour in a cup of honey, a cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of ginger. And you're going to cook this medium heat until it's a rolling boil. Probably takes about 5 minutes, I'd say. And in the meantime, I would continue to knead my dough. I've looked at a number of recipes and books, and some of them are more difficult than others. Some call for baking the TEIGLACH first. A lot of them call for rolling them into long pieces and then just cutting it. I found it easier simply to take the pieces, break them off, and just make little balls myself. So that's what I do. Actually, this is good for if you have teenagers or young kids who want to help you, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, they can just take this and roll the balls. This has been cooking for about 5 minutes, and it is starting to boil. You just drop in maybe half a dozen at a time. You don't want to put in too many, you don't want them to stick together. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I will get the syrup mixture cooking first before I make the dough. So either way is fine, depends on how much time you have to spend. So now it's going to cook probably for about 10 minutes. You're going to see that they're going to rise to the top, and they're going to turn golden brown. And when they're golden brown, we are then going to take them out with a slotted spoon and put them on a tray with a little water on it. A little wet, because you don't want the honey to stick to the tray. You really don't want to stir it while they're cooking. Just the only thing you might want to do is if it looks like it's going to boil over, you might want to stick the spoon in there just to prevent it from boiling over. So now they've cooked for about 10 minutes. I've already done 2 batches, and this is my 3rd batch here. See, they're nice golden brown. Put them on your tray to cool with a slotted spoon. Some recipes call for cooking them a little longer. One time I cooked them so long that they actually hardened into candy, and my family has never let me forget that. So, all right. So now that they're sitting here cooling, I like raisins. So I add raisins to them, and now you just pile them up in a bowl, and you're done. If you wanted to make individual little serving sizes, especially during the pandemic, an option would be just to fill individual little cupcake tins. Cleaning up is probably the hardest part of this recipe because you have all this honey. And then you have your TEIGLACH. I would store them in an airtight container for up to 2 weeks, and they are delicious.